Board of Commissioners to order this August 8th, 2017. We have our Pledge of Allegiance given tonight by Commissioner Dick Morrow and our invocation by Commissioner Doug Holberg.
Okay, if you'll join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in prayer. Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented, make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen. Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Motion by Mr. Holberg, second by Mr. Morrow to approve the agenda. Any questions or comment? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Please 6-0. Item number 1 under presentations and delegations. Recognize Amanda Carmichael, Accountant 4 with the City of Griffin's Accounting and Finance Department as the July 2017 Strongest Link Award recipient.
Well, good evening, Commissioners, Council members. It's always a great honor to be here to present a strongest link in the chain, and for the accounting department being the unsung heroes of the group, it's nice to have, oh, come on, Brant, you're up here quite a bit. So my folks, I get to stand in front of this board and present Amanda Carmichael as one of our strongest links. Now, Amanda, you have been here at least 13 years, right?
Yes.
I've been here 10 of those years. Chuck has been here 14 of those. So Amanda has seen quite a bit, and as you've seen, have read in the write-up about 2 different bank transitions, I don't know if anyone's actually familiar with how much work is involved with moving a corporate bank account from one institution to another. When you have 50 bank accounts and all the checks that are involved and all the transactions, the routing, the grants, the ACH aspect of it, the wire transfers, it's a huge undertaking. And I commend Amanda for doing that and taking that project on not once, but twice. And each time she's done an awesome and outstanding job ensuring that no checks bounce, that all the money's there, all the money's accounted for. She's our go-to person when we have questions about transactions at the bank. But I'm going to stop, and I'm going to let Chuck talk a little bit more about Amanda.
Hopefully not a third.
She's really the leader in the department without the title. And she's the person we go to for her decision-making and knowledge of the city. Other people in the city go to her also. She's the go-to person if you want something done. And I just can't speak too much of her. That's why and I think you can read what Laura Stewart wrote in the article also. Other departments are in awe.
I wanted to thank Chuck for his guidance and his help over the years, and Marcus's too, and also the kind words that Laura said. Oh, yay.
So, hold on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hold on, Jennifer.
So,
Jennifer.
congratulations. And this is a little token of appreciation.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, no pictures, no pictures. No, go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, and hold on, you get another something you can wear daily.
Awesome. It's got my name on it.
It does, it has your name on it. How about that?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I was gonna give you credit for it, right? I had to make it Congratulations once again to Ms. Carmichael being our strongest link. Item number 2, review financial reports for May 2017. Chief Financial Officer Marcus Schwab will address.
Well, I do have a question here. Would we like to address May and June, or do you want me to just cut into June since we're looking at the close of the fiscal year, considering this is now August?
June is fine.
June's fine? Okay, then we'll transition over to the cash balance report for June. Do you have any questions on our ending cash numbers?
Nice big numbers. Like,
So does the 859,000 OPEB money, does that ever get moved down to that investments OPEB fund, 3,079,000? Or does it always just sit there?
Okay, that 859,000 you will see depleted over the course of the fiscal year 18. So starting this month, starting July, those numbers will be whittled down. That will no longer be there at the end because that's part of the PAYGO funding for the retiree health insurance. We're fully funded for OPEB.
But the other money in the 77, or the 771 account in the investments is the other fund?
That's in the trust itself, yes.
Okay. No question.
Okay. Local option sales tax? Any questions on that?
I guess the issue with that, when you look at past years, I can't believe our sales tax is not improved, but it's actually a little lower, if I remember the right number.
It's the
but
auto
Correct.
sales that probably.
I find that difficult to believe, that the state finds our sales tax is down.
The automobile sales tax is out of that now, though, so it could.
Okay, that's transferred over to, that's right, I guess
So
that makes sense.
we don't have the automobile
right.
sales tax in it, so it could.
Correct.
I forgot about that shift, that makes sense.
And also, what you'll see in the TAVT for next year is a dramatic reduction, basically in half of what those expectations were from the prior year. So, yes. Any questions on the SPLOST collections as of June? And then if not, then we'll have questions about the financial statements, the revenues and expenditures.
I know we're doing an audit later tonight. When do you expect the auditors in here to wrap it up?
The auditors will be here September 14th, I believe, or 5th, somewhere in that neighborhood. They'll be here for a few weeks. And then we expect delivery of the audit financials somewhere around mid-October. Preferably sooner, but that's. Any other questions?
Good job.
All right.
You can see on your property tax collections that it looks like
About 4 million.
we hit it pretty much on the head. We'll be bringing the millage rate to you at the next meeting to set the millage rate, and we anticipate it staying the same based on the digest that we got last week.
Will there be a rollback millage?
There is a rollback millage rate that's actually a little higher than our current rate. So you can adopt the rollback rate if you'd like, but it's, 1/100th of a point higher than where we are now?
7.771 is the current millage rate. 7.789 is the proposed rollback rate. Okay. Any other questions?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was items 2 and 3, financial reports for May 2017 and June 2017. At this time, we will open the floor for citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens that would like to address the board? Please come forward. At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to the city business, and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. If you would, just give your name and address for the records.
Yes, sir. My name is Catherine Mitchell. My address is 1465 Gloria Street,
You C or K?
with a K, I apologize.
It's okay.
And that's Griffin, obviously.
Gotcha.
You ready for me to go? Sorry, I taught high school for 14 years, so I have to wait for my audience. I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you this evening. I'm here to address the extreme high prices of utilities in the city of Griffin. My husband and I purchased a home here in April of this year. I spoke with the utility company prior to closing on our home in April and was told an average of $300 a month was what was average for our neighborhood with our size homes. I was shocked and honestly scared upon receiving my first bill of $620. My family lives on a budget, as most people do, and $620 was not in that budget. I'm not looking for any sympathy, but I'm currently battling cancer for the third time. I should have greater concerns than how to pay my power bill. There was recently a thread posted on Spalding County discussion page, and at least 70 people were commenting on this thread. All but one were complaining about the utility company. Many saying they couldn't pay their bills, others saying they needed to call the media, and the worst was a list of people who had moved out of the city and were encouraging others to get out of the city. Several indicated that they planned on doing just that. They planned on selling their homes and getting out of the city. I just bought my house in April. I actually love the city of Griffin. However, I can't afford to continue to pay utilities at this rate. It is more than my car payment. It's 3/4 of my house payment. And I'm here to ask you to look at resolutions, and I just want to suggest some resolutions. I've been with Central Georgia EMC and Georgia Power in the past. I'm not a first-time home buyer. Those companies offer budget billing, where you know what your bill is going to be every month. You can budget for that. You don't have to have fluctuating bills that are $620 one month and $500 the next month. Also, EMC offers a prepaid power, where you put so much towards your power and they send you a text when it starts to get low and they say, okay, you only have $25 left. You add more money to that. A lot of people who get paid every 2 weeks or whatever could much more afford that than having to come up with $600 a month for utilities. The other thing is I spoke with the city and was told that they do not do payment arrangements because that didn't work in the past. My concern was that is that you have people who are on oxygen, people that have small children, people that are battling serious illness, and I have to have machines at night to sleep. It doesn't matter. If you don't pay the full amount, your power is cut off. And I spoke with a lady who her power was cut off for owing $9, and she cried in front of me saying, I didn't have the $9. To me, that's an embarrassment for the city of Griffin. I would also say regarding payment arrangements that, I certainly didn't run a city, but I had a large company at one time. You can make payment arrangements with people requiring either a debit card or a credit card and run it on an agreed-upon date that both parties agree on. I would just ask that you please consider some of these options or some that you come up with on your own, and let's all let the citizens of Griffin know that we love them and that we're glad to call Griffin home. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on my right who would like to address the board? All right. This time we don't have any public hearings. We'll go to our consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move that, well, first off, let me ask before I do that. Is this an updated,
Yeah,
what's the difference?
paragraph. Just rewrite paragraph. She's got it outlined in there.
Okay, all right. In that case, I move that we approve items 4 through 10 of the consent agenda, which includes the updated, corrected set of minutes.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, items 4 through 10. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. That motion was made by Mr. Morrow, second by Mr. Holbert. Moving to our regular agenda, item number 11, consider authorizing the chairperson to execute a quitclaim deed conveying 4 city lots totaling 4.11 acres along Pimento Avenue, parcel 046-09019, 046-09020, 046-09021, 046-09022 for the purposes of development of Meriwether Phase 3.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve executing this quitclaim deed as presented.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. Item number 12, consider approving and authorizing chairperson to execute a non-exclusive access easement for the construction of an access road for the Meriwether Development Phase 3 to the Housing Authority of the City of Griffin.
Mr. Chairman, I move we execute this non-exclusive access easement as presented.
Got a motion by Mr. Morris, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. Item number 13, consider acceptance of a grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in the amount of $195,455 for the purchase of a mini pumper for Griffin Fire Rescue.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve accepting the grant money.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward to approve accepting the grant money. Any questions or comments?
I didn't know you were doing this, so you must have bypassed me, but anyway, congratulations.
Well, thank you. What we've been doing, we've been studying the way we've been running calls for about 13 years now, since I've been chief, and figured out that to try to improve efficiency, putting 2 personnel in a smaller, faster response vehicle will cut down the call volume of the very expensive $475,000 fire engines that we have. Now, certainly, we won't convert our entire fleet to this, but this will be a way to improve that efficiency.
Good job.
It's free.
And that hooks up to the extinguisher, fire
Everything.
extinguisher, the
It's
same way in everything, just a smaller version.
Absolutely. It's a complete ISO-approved truck. It actually gives us a +1 on our ISO that we currently have now
Where will that be housed at?
at Station 1.
Thank you.
Correct.
Any further questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. That'd be 6-0. Item number 14, consider approval of bid and work contract for the Dewey Door Lift Station construction to McElroy, Inc. in the amount of $161,741 for the Water and Wastewater Department of the Public Works and Utilities Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Holberg, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments?
Does that come with a new generator, or does it use the existing one? Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. Item number 15, consider approval of 2018 Georgia Department of Transportation Local Maintenance and Improvement application for GDOT fiscal year 2017 for milling and resurfacing of city streets for the Public Works Department of the Public Works and Utilities Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Holberg, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. It's going to be 6-0. Item number 16, consider on first reading amendments to the City of Griffin Solid Waste Ordinance, Chapter 74, to incorporate the material changes required to approve the new yard waste collection services agreement.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward,
Second.
second by Mr. Doug Holberg. Any questions or comments? No questions or comments? All in favor signify by raising your hand. And that will be 6-0. Item number, we're at 17? Item number 17, consider approval of a new yard waste collection services agreement between the City of Griffin and Dependable Waste Services, Inc. for the collection of residential and light commercial yard waste effective September 1st, 2017.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward,
Second.
second by Commissioner Holberg. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. That would be 6-0. Item number 18, consider a resolution authorizing the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners to adjust rates for yard waste services effective September 1st, 2017.
Make a motion to approve.
We got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Mr. McLemore. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. Item number 19, consider approval of an ordinance repealing Code of Griffin, Georgia, Chapter 58, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Section 58-12, Aggressive Panhandling in its entirety.
With sadness, I yield to our attorney's opinion and move we approve.
I second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. That will be 6-0 as well. Item number 20, consider on first reading an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin, Georgia at Chapter 6, Alcoholic Beverages, by deleting the present chapter in its entirety and adopting in lieu thereof comprehensive provisions pertaining to the manufacture, distribution, and the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city, regulations pertaining to the possession and use of alcoholic beverages, procedures for the licensing of persons authorized to possess, engage in, or deal with alcoholic beverages as a manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailer, including procedures for revocation and suspension of such licenses, imposition and collection of excise taxes on alcoholic beverages, including interest and penalties on delinquent payment of such taxes, designating a special entertainment district within the city in which certain privileges pertaining to alcoholic beverages may be exercised, to provide an effective date, to provide for severability, to restate and reaffirm the Code of Griffin, Georgia, as modified hereby, to repeal all code provisions, ordinances, or parts thereof in conflict herewith, and for other you know what, I need to start over. Just kidding.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
We got a motion by Mr. Holbert. Second, who seconded it?
You start over, we're gonna have a riot.
Yeah.
Show them line forward, please.
Who seconded it?
Morrow.
Mr. Morrow, second. And any questions or comments?
I have one question. What is a growler?
It's a vessel that basically is used in a place that sells craft beer,
Okay.
carry it home in.
It's sort of a
Seal
mini
it
keg.
tight, so you can take it home and it's still
Okay.
fresh. So it's kind
That
of
was actually put into our code about 2, maybe 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
Okay, I thought so, but, okay. All right, that's all I had.
All right, any further questions?
Great Christmas presents, I hear. You should buy one for
Yeah.
your family.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. It'll be 6-0. Item number 21, consider approval of an intergovernmental agreement with Spalding County and the cities of Sunnyside and Orchard Hill for the purpose of specifying the duration of a transportation sales and use tax within the special district of Spalding County, specifying the projects to be funded by such tax and providing for the allocation and distribution of proceeds of the tax among the participants.
I move we approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morris, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. That'd be 6-0. All right, like we're down to the city manager's report.
Yes, sir, don't forget the Archway Mini Retreat, very important retreat, 4 o'clock at the Senior Center on the 23rd. And if you're either a member of or chairing one of the particular work groups that we set our goals on at Lake Blackshear, you'll be asked to report on that. So we're looking forward to that mini retreat. Sooner than that, though, the 14th at 10 o'clock at the Welcome Center, Mr. Kurt will be making a presentation to the DCA on our Plan First application. Very important application. DCA actually comes down for a presentation. We'd like for as many of you who can be there to be there. It's kind of a big deal. They've allotted us a couple of hours to give them all the information that we have. What they do is they measure our compliance with our comprehensive plan. So Tucson and the staff are putting together a presentation with help from Bob at the Housing Authority. And if we get the Plan First designation, it will help us with our CDBG applications and other loans that we get from the state and the interest rates. So we'd love for you to try to be there, at least at the beginning, for introductions, and let them know how much you are involved and how much you appreciate our work and how we stick with our comp plan.
What's the date on that again?
That's the 14th at 10
Next
o'clock
Monday.
at the Welcome Center.
It's Monday at 10. All right.
Yes, sir.
Text me, make sure I'm there.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Whalen? I have nothing. Mr. Holbert?
Just make you aware, in terms of the Three Rivers Executive Director Selection Committee, resumes will be taken until the 15th. So if you know anybody that has the qualities of being the Executive Director for the Three Rivers Commission, those are going on the 15th. Tomorrow, we have our next crime subcommittee through the Archway program at 1:30. So if anybody would like to come to the Senior Citizens Center for that, love to have you. And then on September 13th, we've got a guest, Chief Gary Sparks. He spoke at GMA in regards to, for the last decade or so, they've been doing a boot camp for first-time offenders and disciplinary issues in schools. So he's going to come in and give us a presentation on September 13th, and hope that members of this board and folks you think that will be interested, please join us for that. And to Ms. Mitchell's concerns, if you give me a few minutes after the meeting, I'll be glad to sit down and talk with you and show you the other side of the story, and we can discuss. So thank you for being here tonight.
Mr. McElroy?
No comment.
Smart.
A couple things. One, we had our 4th of July weekend golf tournament for the veterans this weekend, or on the 4th, and I want to compliment Charles King, the director out there, and the staff. They did a great job working with us on the golf tournament. It went very well. We raised some money to help our indigent veterans, and they made us proud of the city and what they did. So kudos to the group led by Charles. Secondly, we're sorry about the cancer and issues. Bless your heart, that's all I can say, that we understand. But unfortunately, there is a great deal of more than misinformation, flat dishonesty about some of our rates and things. If you will go to the Public Service Commissioner website, it has the utility rates of all the providers in the state of Georgia. You will find that City of Griffin is in about the bottom 25% of the rates. We are cheaper than Georgia Power at all the levels of residential rates last we checked. And so it is not the rate that really, compared to the rest of the state, it's usage. And we do have free energy audits and things we can offer if those things are helpful. So as long as people stick to the facts, I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, they don't. But good luck to you.
Ms. Ward? I have but one brief comment. As I end my 20 years of, my year number 20 of elected office, I wanted to formally announce tonight that I will be seeking re-election and will be qualifying later this month to continue to serve as the 6th District City Commissioner here in the Griffin. There's nothing that I love more than my city and continuing to serve my city. So without further ado, I plan to run again.
Good.
So.
Yeah, I say one thing I forgot.
Sure.
I didn't want.
Yeah, go ahead. Just steal my thunder. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad you're doing this, by the way.
You should join me, but go ahead.
I think you're a great commissioner, personally. Got my fingers crossed, but I hope tomorrow we can make a very positive formal announcement on the airport. So I don't want to say anything tonight, but if I can't tomorrow, I'm going to be there disappointed.
Running for office.
Just throw that out.
Just knock my little thing out.
So how will we know?
But I will be here with his announcement tomorrow, so whatever that
Do you
means.
have a paper announcement?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
you might want to mention the loss of former mayor and commissioner.
want
Walker
to
Cook.
mention the loss of our former commissioner and mayor, Mr. Walker Cook, who's passed away, I think it was last week. He was husband of Ms. Barbara Jo Cook, who is one of our school board members. He was definitely a good person, a big-time sports person, the Griffin Hall of Fame, is a former basketball coach, holds some records for basketball and was just all-around a good person, and he's truly going to be missed in our community. So if you know the Cook family, please reach out to them and let them know you're thinking about them. And with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn, sir.
Got a motion by Mr. Holbert, second by Mr. McLemore. All in favor, signify by saying